The destroyer is extremely versatile, and I have two examples here that I'm going to throw and show you just how versatile it is. Let's get started. Okay, number 7 here at Bluemont, and it's actually pretty straight, but you do have some trees over on your right here, and if you throw straight, you're going to be heading right this way, and the basket's over here. So you got to make the disc curve a little to the left. You go very straight. Now that's tough to do. Can the destroyer handle it? Let's see. Okay, I'm going to start with my go-to destroyer, 168 grams, broken in well, and it does tend to actually now curve a bit left, which means it does have tendencies to go this way. So I'm going to counteract that a bit by throwing the disc like this with some hyzer. That should be a putt. Now on to my 166 gram destroyer. This one is not as broken in, so it still has a tendency to go ahead and turn right on me, as most of these will, just out of the box. So the more you break them in, the more stable they will become. But I do have to counteract that by giving it a little bit of anhyzer. Should be very good. Now don't be confused. Yes, this is also a purple destroyer, but it's 165. It's a very old one. In fact, it's become unreliable. What does that mean? Well, I throw it a certain way, and while it used to be very straight and reliable with a little fade at the end, now it just flips, which means it goes like this, flips away. So what can I do to control that? Well, in this case, I have to throw it with extreme hyzer, because it's going to flip all the way up. Now that can be useful, but when a disc becomes unreliable, well, then you've got problems. But let's see if I can control the uncontrollable destroyer. Pretty amazing that that one stayed straight, because it really does usually fly off this way. So on this throw, this flippy destroyer ended up here. Like I said, a miracle it went straight. The other time that I threw it, it ended up all the way over here. Not too terrible, but still unpredictable, and for that reason it's retired out of my bag. I'm no longer throwing it. But this one ended up pretty good. I would say just inside of 30 feet from the basket. Alright, here's my slightly broken in destroyer, one that tends to go off to the right. And again, I threw it with some hyzer, and that's great. We're only about 10 feet from the basket. So what do I want to do? Well, I want to set up to putt the same way I always do. I want to flick straight towards the basket, and same motion all the time. Practice it, know it, always use it, and then you'll become more consistent. But one thing I like to do is treat it like it's a person. I'm just throwing it to a friend. And that way, you're not so intimidated about, the basket can change, it can bounce out, you can do anything. Don't worry about it. Just throw it to your friend right here. Okay, about a 30-foot putt here with the 86. Okay, so the destroyer. Here we go. We had this one, which is extraordinarily unreliable now. It's gotten flippy to where it goes ahead and turns over, and although it could be used as a roller, it's just too unreliable to keep in your bag. Buy another one, replace it, and then break that one in. Okay, now this one, a little bit worn in, and still has a tendency to curve right. So what did I do? Put a little anhyzer on it and got great distance out of it for an easy putt in. Excellent. Now, moving on. This one, extremely broken in, this destroyer, tends to be a little tippy, which can be good because, again, if your discs are always curving off to the right here, then you might be losing some distance. But when they break in and can tend to go straighter, in this case, maybe even a little bit left, you can use that to your advantage by dialing in just a little bit of anhyzer when you release it. And you can get it to either go straight or even curve left if you do it extremely. And that can be very good for you, dog leg lefts, things like that. Or you can make it a roller. And now there you go, a close-up view on my 86 putter. And it has a tendency to drop and sink. And that's why it's called an 86 or 80 sink. That's how it got its nickname. Sometimes you can throw it up high and just get it on into the basket. For instance, if you've got a hazard behind the basket and you're worried about going either down a far hill or running into water or out of bounds, then you can kind of toss this one up high and it'll float in. So that's good. All right, on to the next one. Okay, Bluemont number 1. Famous for that really cool tree right there. And you can see an ace that I hit when the basket was behind that tree. Check for that one elsewhere on YouTube. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to me. But today, 158 feet in the C position, up top of the hill here. So there you go, and we're starting right here. Perfect for the destroyer. Okay, well, this one's a big dog leg right, and this one already curves right, so it should be easy, right? Okay, but what about this destroyer? It tends to curve off the opposite way that we need it to here, dog leg right. So just throw it with some extreme hyzer, and it should turn right. Okay, great result. Both destroyers, both with different flight characteristics, but the one that tends to turn left right here, and this one that tends to turn right here. So good result either way. Okay, so wrapping up this hole number 1 at Bluemont here with the dog leg right, and this one, the natural selection here already tends to curve right, so I just threw it with just a bit of hyzer and it curved right on up the hill, right where we wanted it to. This one took a little more. We had to give it more hyzer because it naturally tends to go this way. Now, why would you ever throw this one right here? Well, you wouldn't. You're gonna just throw this one because it has the right tendencies for this dog leg right. So find discs that do what you want them to do, like this destroyer, and know that if there's a disc that tends to have different characteristics, you can make it do whatever you really want it to do, especially with this very versatile destroyer. If you give it some hyzer, it's going to curve to the right. Or if it has a tendency to flip, then it's going to straighten out maybe. In other words, the hyzer flip, which I have a video on, you start like this, the disc will straighten out, go a long distance, clear some hazards, maybe a fairway, and then curve off to the right at the end. So that's what you want. This is a very versatile disc and it can do many things for you, but don't fight its tendencies. Use the right disc for the right place. Okay, now I've moved on to Bluemont number 3, and I'm gonna throw this one to the blue basket starting from the red tee. So that'll give us an excuse to throw a nice dog leg left, because you gotta make it through this fairway right here and then curve left over here to the basket. Not easy, but we'll make the destroyer do it. I'll show you how. Okay, the sun is at the exact wrong angle for this one, but oh well. It illustrates the lesson. So I'm gonna start off and I'll be throwing this one, the less broken in destroyer, which tends to curve right the wrong way that we need it to, with a bit of anhyzer, because I'm gonna want it to turn left and get to the blue basket there. This one tends to throw a little bit left anyway, so I can get away with throwing it flat or maybe just a little bit of hyzer. If it tends to be more flippy and it just flips a little bit, then about like this. That's the way you control these discs. Okay, let's see what happens. Actually hit the pole. Okay, good result with this destroyer right here, very close to the basket, and similarly this one also close to the basket, and it even hit the pole there. Okay, so what did we learn about the destroyer today? Well, we learned that when your disc is starting to act erratic, like this very old destroyer of mine, you've just got to throw it away, get it out of your bag, and replace it with another one that's going to be more dependable for you and do what you want. Now, we learned that this one, which is just about broken in, tends to curve a little bit right, and that will straighten up and maybe even turn left as it gets broken in. So you can really control it with any way you throw it. Flat will be more straight. If you throw it with some hyzer, then it'll curve right, and hyzer, curve left. Always following through, giving it a good firm flick to make sure it gets where you're going, and always looking at where you want it to go. Don't look anywhere else. For instance, if you know your disc will curve off to the left, then you might want to look at an object out here if the object you're going for is here, because you know it's going to curve left. But that's really the only exception. You always want to look where it's going to go. But we also learned that these discs, the Destroyer, is very dependable and very reliable once you get to know its flight characteristics. And that's why everybody should have one in their bag. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other videos on YouTube. Don't forget to check out my Drivin Ivan car videos, literal video for Wicked Game, short film, documentaries, some music as well. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe to me and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Ivan Katz.